In this video, we're going to be designing a sci-fi med injector. Let's go. So now I'm going to be riffing basically. I have some references here on the side, but you know, they're very loose references of med guns. I just want to, you know, look at it for some kind of you know, key elements of design. But I have an idea in my head what I want to do. So we're going to be following that. It's going to be like a kind of like a, you know, med injector we can squeeze with your hand. So you squeeze the whole grip and you just, you know, inject the whatever. So let's design just that, right? So now I want a screen to be tilted like this, and we can design a handle. So we need a handle here, and then, you know, move it all the way up here, and maybe do something like this. How are we looking? Oh, that's actually pretty interesting. So let's press 3 and tab to extrude it on both sides. There we go. And then we can, you know, nuke this curve. We don't need it. Select these two. And we can actually press full. That's okay. Now this one could be slightly deeper here. And we could just run another bevel here, like that. And also bevel here and here. Just a tiny one. There we go. And then here we can cut this a little bit differently, so we could actually slice it a bit more here, you know. I think it's a little bit too thick, so C and slice it, do that. And when you do that, we probably may slice here as well. It's a bit too far away. I mean, too, you know, coming up too far. So we can do this, and we can create some attachment in here, you know. So let's just bevel this a little bit. No, this is a chamfer. We want to bevel this right here. There we go. And before we do anything, I actually want to make sure that this one is sliced properly in terms of angles. So it should be something like this. I'm just eyeballing it, right? So yeah, that's a bit more straight. And this one needs to be a little bit longer because it's too short. There we go. I think that's good. So now, let me think. This hand here could be coming out. So we could do something like this, right? And we could run a bevel here. And in fact, we could rotate this a little bit. So rotate it and then run a bevel, right? There you go. Here we could have this slightly more narrow going in, or just simply, you know, bevel this on this side like that. Let me just try this again. There you go, that's good. And of course this needs to be more smooth because it's gonna be a hand. So here I would just nuke this bevel for the time being because I want to have a smoother connection here like that. We can actually mirror this to the other side, so mirror, right? Now this is going to be a full bevel in the back, that's okay. So that's that, and on this side we of course going to have a bevel, but you know what I want to do? Is I want to actually narrow this down, okay? So I want to cut it from kind of this perspective, right? So let's grab maybe this angle here in orthographic, like this, right? And we're going to run a cut here like this, okay? So let's grab this edge, right? And extrude it down. So extrude it down like this, okay? And we're going to angle this like that. And move it in like this. There we go. We don't need that. Now rotate it, yes, so R, and we're gonna press V for pivot and rotate somewhere here. Like this, right? And G and X and move it in. There we go. So select this one, right, and C, select the plane and slice it. There we go. And we can nuke this. Now we have some beef here. Let's just nuke that. And select this edge here and remove it. There we go. So now we get a bit of an angle here, which is kind of cool. I like that. So now what we could do technically is nuke this bevel here for a minute. And we could run a bevel here first, right? But we're gonna press V for variable bevel, and we're going to, come on, we're going to make this bevel in the bottom here a little bit smaller, but I wanted this one to maintain the width. I want to just make this one a bit smaller here in the bottom. There we go. Okay, something like that. So let's mirror this to the other side. Q, boom, right? And then we got this part here. We're gonna be taking care of this in a minute. And this handle here gonna be, you know, this is gonna be basically kind of like a grip you're gonna be pressing. Also, this one should be beveled. Here in the bottom too, we could just, you know, round it up. And this one could be a chamfer. I think it's gonna look pretty cool. There we go. Let me see that. I like that. And in fact, before we run the chamfer here, let's just slice this a bit more this way. Right, so let's remove this bevel. Let me see that. Let's just do something. I mean, maybe actually we can angle this even more. I think it's gonna be cool. Let me see that. Like I told you, I'm fucking riffing, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I like that. So here, let's run a bevel. We can actually encroach here. That's fine. And then we can run a chamfer. There we go. Cool, so that's that. And now here in the front, what I want, you see, I want this to become kind of like a handle you squeeze, right? So we're gonna grab this fucking thing, and let's just press tab for control point curve. And we could technically make this into a massive handle like this, or do something like that, or make this smaller and make it kind of, instead of come out this way, something like this, and move it, you know, deeper in here like that, or maybe somewhere here. Let me see that C and slash it, right? Then we're gonna be able to run a bevel through that here and also through this edge. Come on. Can copy the edge here. Let me see how this looks. Yeah, see, this is cool, right? Hang on a second. Let me grab this. We want to create a bit more of a gap here, so let's go to edges, select all this, X to nuke that, select this entire face. It's amazing it's a one face. Let's go back and let's actually move it in like this. Okay. What we're gonna do, we're gonna offset it. So press O for offset if this is actually even gonna work. If it doesn't work, right? Let me see that. Actually, it does work. Do something. Let me see. Something like this. And then we're gonna grab this and we're gonna extrude it like that. And we're going to bevel it this on this side and bevel it in here. And now let's see that. Boom, see what I mean? So you kind of squeeze that and this basically injects whatever you want to inject. So that's cool. And hopefully you're not going to clench your skin, but I think it's going to be fine. Let me just grab this bevel here. And we could rotate this face a little bit, but rotate it on this pivot. So RV and, come on, RV and on this pivot here. So on Z, how are we gonna look if I do that? Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. Hang on. Oh, I kind of like that. So now here we could run another chamfer. Yeah. Or bevel. This one could be also roundish a little bit. There we now we start seeing some shapes here. Let me save it because I actually like it now. This handle here could have some cut. So we could have some cut in here like this. With the boolean. So C and cut it like this. So technically this is gonna be a separate piece, right? This one. Yeah, I think it's better. Grab this face and then R and V and select this axis here. And do this. It's gonna move this bevel here. That's not what I want. Okay, fuck it. So I'm gonna slash this then. That's how you wanna play it? Fine. Fine. So let's grab that. And let's just slice it here like this, okay? And call it a day. And remove this, and let's see that now. Yeah, that's better. That's better. So now we can run a bevel here, right? And then, of course, obviously, we can have a bevel here. And a bevel on this one, right? Okay. How we looking? Yeah, see that's really cool. That's an interesting part. We're good to go. And this handle here too could be divided, so we could actually split it in here like this. Let me just bevel this. GG and move it in here. Okay, let me slice that. Perfect. And we're going to run a tiny bevel here too. We're gonna copy this bevel here, so just click. There we go. How we looking? That's really interesting. Got a bit of a shape on the bottom. I like that. Then I'm thinking that this thing on the top here could be a larger. And we could stop this chamfer somewhere here. Or even in here. You know, so run a chamfer here. Come on. Run the chamfer like this. Right? And run a bevel here. And then this could be a smaller bevel here, so kind of like a micro bevel, which normally I wouldn't recommend running, but you know, fuck it, here too, micro bevel. And we're gonna mirror to the other side, right? So for how we're looking. Well, there you go, now you're talking. That's an interesting shape. Here on top, we could have some design, so we can snatch, you know, something like this on the top. And let's just follow these edges. Let me just turn this on. Follow these edges. We could borrow this fucking arc, you know. I think it's gonna be cool. Hang on, Shift D. And then let's grab that, press offset and move it in here. And then we're going to cut this a little bit. So Shift A, run a cut. And we're gonna select that, Control C and nuke this. So nuke that, there we go. Then Shift A and run it up here, and then I'm gonna borrow this edge, boom, right? Go up here and borrow this edge. It's gonna be too fucking big, but fuck it. Go down like this. It needs to be straight, you know, just a straight line all the way here, so we can trim this bit. Now this is too big, but what we can do, we can slice it in two pieces. So run an edge here like this, and then Shift DG and do that. And this one maybe could be closer like this. Then let's select all of them. Right, let's go to local, and they're on the same plane. Perfect. So we can now trim this. So trim all that we don't need. There we go. Then select them all and J. Now we're gonna be fixing angles. So these are the same angles, more or less, right? More or less. So we can bevel, and this one too. We can bevel them together. These are a little bit different. So, well, this one kind of similar, so we can do that. These are identical, so we can run 90 degrees, right? And this one is kind of a special bevel, so we can do that separately. There we go. Now let's go back, right? And then we're gonna imprint it. This one could be a little bit closer, you know, G, Y here. There we go, right? And technically could be larger, you know, could be going slightly higher, but this could also be interesting, kind of an offset of the height here. So Shift Q and imprint, and let's see, select them both and move them in like this, right? And then simply chamfer these, and we're gonna bevel these inside, right? We could have some kind of a separation here, maybe going like this down. Maybe what we could do is go from here. Like, oh, maybe we could borrow this fucking thing. Hang on. What we could do is you could borrow this, right? And Shift D and then offset and offset it in here. And we could make it larger like this and then literally use it as a slash. So, you know, see and boom, right? So what it's gonna do is going to slash this around here. So I can now run it bevel here like this. Boom, right? And separate it. That's actually really cool. I like that. What if I run a cut here? So Shift Q and imprint it and hide occlusion, so it's not gonna go through. What if I grab these two and run in? That's not gonna work, is it? Oh, this will work. Perfect. That's actually cool. I like that. And then we can grab this one and chamfer this. Good. If I bevel this and then bevel this one, I think this is gonna be better because then I can chamfer that. Right? Let me see that. Yeah, that looks very much better. So let's go with this one. Then maybe we're gonna shift this one and grab that 3 and extrude it, and then B for new body. Select these and run a bevel. Okay, and then hang on. Let me make this a bit taller. Oh, now we're talking. And bring this one back. Oh yeah, see now we're cooking with fire. Let's move this one lower. Oh yeah. And make this wider. That kind of fits. Okay, so now let me mirror this to the other side. Let me duplicate this. And this one should be enough to boolean this. So 4 and Q and boolean. So now this one should be smaller, and now I can run a bevel here or a chamfer. There we go. So this one kind of fits in, right? And this one should be chamfered. Because this one's gonna be going to the skin, right? Or kind of, you know. So let's offset this. Let's insert it. I mean, extrude it, then offset it again. And go outside like that. Maybe scale this face a little bit. There we go. And now we can have some fun. So this should be fairly soft, I think. And we could have some kind of, you know, some kind of an injector here on the top or whatnot. So you attach it to the skin, squeeze, just like in real life, and you're good to go, yeah? So now, here we could have some kind of, not this one, fuck it, this one I want. Let's run these and press B, and then let's run the array here to the bottom, and let's remove these two on the top, and let's simply let's actually sync that. We could actually combine them, fuck it. Yeah, and just bevel this, you know, a little bit. How it looks. It looks pretty cool. And this could be a tip, which means this could be interchangeable. So we could just run a edge here like this and slice it, you know what I mean? Come on, C and slice it. There we go. So this is gonna be beveled, and this is gonna be bevel to chamfer it or whatever the hell. Here in the bottom, we could have some kind of, you know, something, so we need to run it in the middle though. B for whatever, for the new body. And then GV, and let's move it on Z here, right? And then let's not move it so deep. Let's move it just a little bit, because remember this is cut here. And then let's move this face in like this, right? So then what we can do is combine them together and move this one closer. Bevel this. And then, you know, chamfer this or whatever. And, you know, some small details on the bottom. This here, of course, could be a monitor. So let me see. We could go to this construction plane, and we could technically cut a monitor in here. Press 1, B, grab a bevel, Shift Q, imprint it, hide occlusion, nuke this plane, 3, off, offset, press I, and select this face and insert it in, and create kind of like a monitor here. There you go. And we could have some buttons here, so, you know, I don't know, 2 of them, whatnot. So one in here, right? 3, O, and, you know, 1. This should be tighter, to be honest. You know, high-tech shit is tighter spaces, so come on. There we go, that's better. And, you know, this could be 1, and there could be another one on the other side. So 4, Mayor, Q, and boom, right? You got buttons here. So I think that's good. Now in the top here, we could have some kind of, you know, I don't know, vial or some such, you know, so we can still have space, right? So we can just run something like this here, and just cut this. And let's grab this one and move it. So G and V, and, you know, move it somewhere here. And it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be so deep, but fuck it. So here we're going to offset it just a little bit and grab this face and move it outside. And honestly, I'm thinking that maybe it's going to be better to Shift D that, because you want to have a separate geo for this, so E and B for separate body. And now we're gonna have some kind of a vial here, like this, right? And we can just run some cuts here, whatnot. So 3 and, you know, whatever, right? And just run some bevels. There you go. By the way, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next one.